Conceptually, if you run such a service, will it actually work? The first point is about putting two bus stops here, like around here and around here. And then you would route your bus service from Drive 12, Street 72, Drive 10, and then Drive 1. Or alternatively, like this. But then the next part of his suggestion is actually slightly off topic, but I am really pissed off that they built HDB flats here. They cut off the mangrove swamp just to build more concrete. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Like I swear, from the library, the public library, you used to have like a view of like just greenery. And then now it's gonna be concrete. Ugh. I don't know what URA is thinking sometimes, but okay. There is actually service 46 that goes like this. And then there is also 15 that goes like this. But there has been no bus service, as in currently. I think historically there probably was. I don't really remember, like, you know, all the Night Rider routes by Trans Island Bus Services, SMRT. Not NR7, but like NR9 to NR22. I don't remember which specific ones. Okay, but then like from Street 72, you would route it via Drive 1 and then Street 52 like this. And it's actually giving people along this side and this side more access like towards Pasir Ris West, which is the one benefit of this, you know, amendment. Sorry, not amendment, I mean a conceptual new service. Although just one observation is that the bus stop is here. Okay, that just glitched. Okay, the bus stop is here, and then the next bus stop is actually here. And then there is no bus stop like in between. Maybe it's time to put one in between so that... Okay, the reason why there is no bus stop here in the first place is because, like right here, oops, not this one. Right here, there is actually 15. And therefore, there is no need to actually put a bus stop here because you already have 15 here. But what if you put a bus stop here, around here, so that this new bus service, like the conceptual new bus service, could just go like this, call here, and then call here. So you would board here instead of like walking all the way here, like ease of access. And then this one is a minor detail, but then the reason why Service 15 doesn't go inside like this, and instead it goes Drive 1, it's because it needs to connect with like all the bus services outside. Like you would take say 89, 109, 39, 81, 53, and then you would transfer to like 15 to reach Street 52. So that's the reason why 15 doesn't go inside Pasir Ris Grove. It needs to touch like this pair of bus stops. Now, and then this one is also like another concept. It's, how do you say, it's like when you have a right turn, you need to put another bus stop here. But when you have a left turn, it's not really necessary to put one here. You could just make everybody like go to this bus stop instead of like putting a bus stop here. Anyway, it's not related, but this is just like something to keep in mind when building new bus stops in Singapore in general. It's simply because you need to cross the road 2 times, like from here at this junction to reach, like from this side to reach this side, you need to cross the road 2 times. But from here to here, you don't have to cross the road. You can just cut through the buildings. And that's another reason why when it's a right turn, you have to put another bus stop here. So that would explain why this area doesn't have a bus stop here. Also, this interchange has like the worst design ever. Now for the part that we're all interested in. So SG Buses is saying that we could have a bus go downtown east, drive 6, street 11, and then drive 1. So what SG Buses is suggesting is basically on top of the feeder services, you add an additional like trunk service that passes through all these areas. So it's like you could have one passing through here, maybe here, oops, or maybe like here, like just conceptually. Although it's not that easy to do because you're gonna have to like wrap around and then go back in like it, like 859 style, that kind of bus service. Because I can foresee like it looking something like this. Like let's say from like this, Street 52, like this, and then kind of like, conceptually it's probably gonna be like service 859. Now the reason why, if you want to make like an 859 style service, you don't do this because it is gonna duplicate service 3. The only way you can justify it is that if people along this side actually want to go here, like not outside, but actually want to go here and here. Again, if there's actually people crossing over from like this side to this side and then this side to this side. Only if there is demand can you actually do this. And then you might be thinking, what about this? Well, you see, the red one, at least it has more catchment along this side, and then it has a lot more catchment on this side. This side, it only has catchment on this side, and then here is like pretty much plain. That's the reason why you don't really send any bus service through Drive 3. And in fact, Drive 3 is already served by like 5, 6, 89, which is like sufficient. And then there is already like service 3. Okay, technically, I have to say service 3 actually does this. So whatever bus you send to do this turn, like Street 41 to here, it'll incur a 3-axle double-decker restriction, or just about any 3-axle vehicle in general, because the turn from here to here is like actually quite tight. So you don't really want to do that unless you can guarantee that like you're gonna be able to run this service with just single deckers. So yeah. And then when you do this, you also have to like, okay, I think I should draw it properly like this. Just gonna make it a little bit neater like this. Yeah, so unless you can justify that there are people from here that are going to this site, this service is not going to work. Because this one is just like you're sending in a trunk to complement the feeders. You're not changing the feeders, you're just adding a new extra service. Although one benefit I can think of for this one is school. I mean, this is a temporary holding school, and then school as well. Although I think the reason why they haven't really done a bus service like this is because Casuarina Primary, you could board from Drive 6. Pasir Ris Crest, you could board from like Drive 4. And then these two are already served by like existing service 3. And then the other side it's like 5, 6, and 89. And obviously this one, it's accessible by 359 as well as like the buses outside like this. And to SBS Transit, like when they designed like 359, 358 and 357, which then became 3 after merging with like 24, after merging with like 294, they felt that like it's already adequate to have like a bus service go here, and then obviously now it got extended to loop like this, another bus service that like loops here, and then the remaining one gets taken up by 357, which is now service 3. And then this one is going to be done by like the trunk route, drive 3. Because of that, in the same fashion as like Jurong East, they felt that like Pasir Ris East already has like enough catchment. So again, going back to my previous point, the only way that you're gonna justify such a bus route is if you have people from here that are going here and then here that are going here, if they actually want this connection. Otherwise, this bus route isn't really, gonna do much, because from here to here there is already like existing 359. So yeah, it's like, how to say, it's like I like his idea, but when it comes to like in the context of like Pasir Ris, I foresee it like being it a little difficult to implement, and that's why SG Buses said it's only optional. Cause I think he has like something similar in mind as well. Cause he did say drive 6 and then street 11, but he did not say like exactly how you would um route it. But I assume it's actually like this, or maybe at the most like this. But I think he meant this. But again, I still think the idea behind it is actually quite decent. Because Pasir Ris East is like, it's quite sizable. When you compare it to like Pasir Ris West, it's like the existing feeder services already do a good job in the sense that like you have 358 that's like going here, you have 403 that's like looping inside, you have 359 that takes this route, and then you have 357, which is now service 3, taking the remaining sectors. Okay, the thing is, 359 already brings you, and 518 as well, but nobody really takes 518 along this sector. 518A, yes, but 518, no. Like in the morning. Because to go like from north to south like this, there are already buses like doing this, 359 and 358. And you could argue that from this side to that side you have 89 and service 3 to some extent. And also, when it comes to like from here to here, you have 68 as well, which is a new addition. So in a way, this thing is supposed to function like 68, but kind of in the style of like 859. But the reason, again, I'm just saying theoretically, Pasir Ris East needs it more is because, like, just compare it, like size wise, this area like from here to here on average is just quite small. You could even walk there. This one on the other hand is like a lot bigger. And okay, actually I should probably say from street 71 to here, I mean you already have like 359. From here you could access here, and then you could access everywhere along drive 3 with just 359. But then this one, there is actually limited connection between like this part and then this part and then this part. Something like this. As long as you pass by the red route, and then you make it go inside Street 11, there is potential for this. Now, if you want this service to be double-decker or like bendy bus friendly, you have to give up the sector, and then you have to like make it a duplicate service tree. But in the case that service tree actually needs help, yeah, this one would have potential. And the reason why I say 859 is because it really has this like section. It looks like 859, but for Pasir Ris. And I honestly don't know how worth it is to put a pair of bus stops outside, just like 859 for Sembawang Vista. I don't know how worth it is to actually put a pair of bus stops outside, but yeah. So the summary is Pasir Ris West has already adequate like north-south connections. Not really north-south, but you get the idea. Pasir Ris East might need more north-south connections. Again, ask the residents, but I am glad that SG buses like brought this thing up. Like, if you're studying in these schools and then you want to access this part, you get a new bus service. The same goes for if you live along this part and you want to access these schools. Yeah, you could take this new conceptual bus service. Because when you think about it, 359 only applies the lower part of the route. Oops. 3, which is 357, which was 357, its catchment is like this in general, and the only thing that even remotely goes north to south is like 358, I guess. So yeah, you're gonna have to take 358 and you're gonna have to like walk a little bit, I guess. But that's kind of the reason why they make the trunk services do this. Like, they have 12 and 21, they have 17, and then for drive 2, yeah, they have 109. Again, they chose drive 2 because it makes 0 sense for them to do something like this or to do something like this. It's like you're going up and then you're like going down again. So might as well just that's the reason why they made 109 go like this. And the other reason is they want to avoid this sector of like Pasir Ris Drive 1 and Loyang Avenue, which might be prone to congestion, so 109 kind of skips it a little bit. So yeah, see, the blue ones are the trunk routes. The red one is it's the conceptual feeder bus route. And even when I draw 358, it's still quite easy to see that like the red actually bridges quite a decent bit of the gap, like from so-called north to south. Again, I think this is what SG buses actually meant, and not like literally drive 1 over here. But again, overall, I actually like this. But the reason why I made a bus service apply the entirety of like drive 3 is because drive 3, especially at night, the frequency can get really horrible, but I'm still glad that he actually brought this up. It's more potential to mess with. It's like instead of like it being kind of lame, just going inside the interchange, you make one round in the style of like 859 before SMRT took over the service from TIBS. I think 859 was kind of genius in the sense that like because of the way Sembawang is constructed, it's like you wind around for maximum catchment, and not all services can do that. It's only like within a small town like Sembawang or Pasir Ris, then it's worth it to just make one service do this kind of like troll loop. So yeah, in In case the feeder services are inadequate, using the red route, you could make a conceptual route. Using whatever I've drawn in red, you could actually make it happen, provided that, as I've said before, like, there are actually people that want this service, this kind of service. And yeah, by the way, inside here, there's already 354, so it's already adequately covered. You don't really have to, like, go up drive 4 and then come back down. That kind of defeats the purpose of, like, having 354 in the first place. But yeah, fun fact, the old 350, except like late at night, I think it did like Pasir Ris close like this, and then Pasir Ris close again like this, and eventually this kind of stopped, got split off into 354, and then it got extended. So a little bit of history for you guys. It is also tempting to terminate buses at Loyang Depot, but unfortunately I've heard that it's not permanent. So yeah, government, you suck. I mean, imagine if there was actually like a secondary bus depot over here. I mean, secondary bus terminal over here. It's a lot more potential. And in fact, if this bus service actually survived, you could just let it rest inside. It is such wasted potential, NR7, honestly. And what hurts even more is that this route was like literally one of the more profitable ones out of all the NR services. NR5 is profitable as well as like 7 and 8. Even service NR8, when it was like Bedok to Bukit Batok, it used bendy buses. That's how much demand it had. And even NR6 was also kind of popular as well, because it serves Northeast. The only way that NR6 wouldn't get demand is if um, Northeast Line runs 24/7. But even then, Northeast Line doesn't really connect you to like a whole lot of places. It's just a central, the line passing through the town center. That's all. It's not even like, doesn't even link you up to any feeder. I mean, you still have to hub smoke, but late at night, obviously, you would prefer the night riders. Let's face it, nobody wants to walk. But yeah, I enjoyed this beautiful creation by my friend.